Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. It's a bit damp here. No, go away. Every single time I make a video. I called him through earlier, right, he wouldn't come through. So I thought I'll make a video and then I'm going to go and feed him, sort him out and what have you. So I say, hello, and he comes rushing through. Yeah, it's wet, damp day today, but it's still so very hot. Still very hot. Shaz, one of my subscribers and a friend, said, get these books, Bri. So I've got these books. I only just got them today, all three. So I'm going to sit and read them. Not read them, sort of dip into them really. So yeah, they're called the Crystal Bible. And books 1, 2 and 3. So I can read up on I start to read up on my favourite ones, I think, more than anything. That'd be really, really nice. So thank you very much, Shaz. I do appreciate that. I always appreciate when people say, oh, have you heard this piece of music, Brian? Have you read that book? Have you done this? Have you heard of this person? Whatever. I do appreciate that, and thank you very much. Not everything always resonates with me as it may you, but I think that's the nature of our human spirit. That's how it should be, really. Check the volumes on. My beautiful and glorious friend Lisa said, have you watched this particular channel? She told me about a channel. I watched a couple of videos of this person, didn't connect with her, didn't particularly like her, don't know why, but I just didn't. You may have seen in the chat thing on the Thursday on the premiere, and Lisa said, did you like this particular person? I said, no, I couldn't get on with her, you know. And there's reasons sometimes why you don't get on with that person, and it could be just where I'm at that time. You know, nothing to do with the person. It could be just where I'm at. You know, maybe I just wasn't feeling the person. So what I tend to do, if I don't particularly like a YouTube channel or a book that's been recommended, a piece of music, whatever, I sit on it for a while. And, you know, I might say a piece of music, for instance. God, I've got some great bands, favourite bands of mine that when they were first introduced to me, I didn't like them. I sat on them for a while, and then I sort of played them, listened to them, or if a book, then you read the book, whatever, at a later date, and bang, you know, you've kind of got it, you know. One of the bands that was kind of introduced to me by a friend, he bought an LP, do you remember Records bought an LP round, and it was Misplaced Childhood by Marillion. Now Fish is the lead singer, was the lead singer. Anyway, brought it round. I'm not going to roll a fag. That's why I'm leaning. I'm half bloody leaning, aren't I? I'll roll a fag, then do me dinner because I'm getting hungry, I tells you. I could go about food. Look at the size of me. I could go out with food about 6 months and I'd still be fat. So my friend, Pete his name was, he bought this album round and Misplaced Childhood. And he said, I absolutely love it. I've been playing it for weeks. Have a listen to this, bro. You'll love it. And he put it on. And musically, it was pretty good. I could get into the music just about. And then this singer started, and I couldn't get on with him. Fish. Could not get on with him. Anyway, I sort of looked over at Pete, and he sort of nodded away, and he said, good, isn't it? And I went, yeah, not bad. And he said, don't you like it then? And I said, I can't get on with the singer really. And he said, oh, just listen, you know. Anyway, so we carried on listening. So we watched, listened to the album. You have to flip it over halfway. Every single track. And yeah, it was okay. You know, it wasn't something much for me to write home about. And he was so enthusiastic. He absolutely loved it. And he said, they're playing in, I think it was Earl's Court or whatever in October. He said, would you come with me? And I said, no, I wouldn't, Pete. You know, I don't really think they're the band for me. And I wouldn't go and see a band that I didn't particularly enjoy because, you know, you go there with somebody else and they're kind of up at that level, loving it, and I'm sort of like that, and you can end up bringing them down, you know. And I said, what about, because we work together, I said, what about somebody from work, you know, I mean, see who's into them and that. Anyway, on the Monday, we was at work and we was chatting, and tea break, and I said, oh, Pete, you was going to mention about Marillion. And a guy, Michael, sat next to me, he said, I love Marillion. Have you got their album, Pete? And he said, yeah. And he said, oh, my favourite bit is this, and when this happens, and they got on like a house on fire, and they went, 6 months later or whatever, they went to go and see Marillion, and I'm sure they would have had a wonderful time. But what I'm getting at is, I didn't know why it didn't work for me, but it didn't, you know. And then they had the big hit, Kaylee, and I like that. And then a couple more, and I kind of liked them. So I re-listened to, not Pete's copy, it was somebody else at the time, but they came round, I think with maybe a cassette actually, and it was the same album, but it was on cassette, and I listened to it, and I absolutely loved it. I really got it. This second time I really got it, you know. Anyway, cut a long story short, but all these years later, I absolutely love the first 4 albums of Marillion. Fish sang with for the first 4 albums, and then Steve Hogarth. I never got into him, and I don't like him, and I can't be bothered with him, but Fish was amazing, absolutely amazing with Marillion. And isn't it funny that my initial thing was to kind of recoil, was to pull away? How strange was that? You know? Yeah, so we don't always like something on first listen, first watch, first play, or whatever. And sometimes it's nice just to sit back and relax and you know, maybe catch up with it later, maybe, you know. So what I'm saying is, Lisa, I will watch that channel again, maybe in a day or two, and see where we are. Now, for some odd reason, it's got me thinking about where you are. Mentally, where you are. We're all in different places at different times, you know, and the silly thing is we feel that we need to apologise sometimes for feeling like that, you know. Lisa, I do apologise, I didn't get it. So we feel the need to do that, you know. I'm good enough friends with Lisa that we don't need to do that, but sometimes you've got to, you kind of feel that you need to apologise for where you are in life, and you shouldn't, you know, you shouldn't need to ever do that. And this is on the back of several things really, but there's a channel, I don't particularly like him, again, Koi Fresno or whatever his name is, he's called Vishida Daz. I don't like the channel, but I got recommended, I've watched maybe 20 of his videos over about a 3-4 year period, don't particularly like him. I don't know why, but I don't. And anyway, today's video, he was talking about Russell Brand. And Russell Brand is a brand new person, isn't he? I mean, he's certainly changed over the years, you know, and he's very awake now. I think he's got a lot to say, a lot of importance. I think in 10 years, 20 years time, could you imagine where Russell Brand will be, you know? You got people like maybe Thich Nhat Hanh, maybe Sadhguru or Muji or Osho or maybe even Ajahn Brahm or whatever. You got people that are very, very awake spiritually, sort of now or slightly in the past. And obviously those people are going to fade away, going to die. You know, that's the nature of who we are. And more people are coming forward, and that's what happens. Russell Brand is going to be one of the big guys who's moving forward. So when we no longer have on this planet, we no longer have the Mujis or the Sadhgurus or the Thich Nhat Hanh, we'll have Russell Brand, and we'll have Jim Carrey perhaps, I don't know, whatever. There's some very, very awake people out there. Dalai Lama is very, very awake, but obviously, you know, they're all of a certain age, so they're all sort of going. But it's opening doors for new people to come in. So I watched Koi, or Vishida, I watched him talk about Russell Brand, and it got me thinking about, probably myself, but I mean us, you know, we do evolve, we do grow, we do mature into whatever we are, you know, and particularly on the spiritual path. But I find the need to very nearly apologise for that, which is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But I do. I feel that it's got a kind of a stigma to it. Much the same as, and I do talk about mental health sometimes in my videos, that's got a bit of a stigma to it, always has, always will do, I think. You talk about mental health and you say, I've got depression, I feel unwell, I'm on medication. People can think of you as being weak or whatever, you know, so it's got a bit of a stigma to it. And when you say about your spiritual life, I think that's also got a bit of a stigma, because it's a bit woo-woo, and you know, a bit, hey man, you know, new age hippie thing, whatever. And people can sort of recoil, oh no, it's not for me. And that's absolutely fine. And if this video isn't for you, if I'm talking about spirituality, great, move on. Watch somebody else, or come back and watch one of my videos in a day or two. Who knows what I'll be talking about? I've no idea. You know, we change, we evolve, we grow. Into the people that we are now, and we shouldn't really feel the need to apologise for who we are, what we are, you know. So, yeah, I'm going to live my life like that. I'm not going to apologise. I am me, I am doing my own thing, and that's that, really. Yes, I'm a different person today than I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, definitely, you know. And I may be a very different person this time next week. Who knows? But I'll accept whatever happens in life, what comes to me, the changes that happen in and about and around me. I'll accept that, and that will be who I am. And if I'm a new person, or I appear to be a new person, absolutely fine. Yeah, and it got me, my brain leads on to silly bloody things. It got me thinking about school, of all things, really, you know. I just said about the stigma of mental health, and also I think with being awake, being a spiritual person, I think there's a bit of a stigma there when we say, I think the stigma comes from when you are spiritual, is that people can assume that you're a bit lofty, that you're above them, that you know more than them, that you're a better person than them, and all of those couldn't be, they're so far removed from all of those things. If anybody thinks any of those things, they are totally 100% wrong, you know. Being spiritually aware, spiritually awake, following your own bliss, following your journey, doing your own thing in life, doesn't mean that you're better than anybody else. It just means this is my journey, and this is my message. Those that want to follow me on my journey, do. Those that like my message, do. That's it. I want no more than that. But, you know, we do feel the need to apologise and what have you. But I was thinking about school. I had a friend called Karen at school, bless her. When she was 11, she always used to get all the, spellings right. All of them, 20 out of 20. Very bright girl, you know. And sometimes I'd sit next to her and I'd say, Karen, how do you spell? And she'd say, bit, and I'd tell cheers, and it was always right, always. Loved sitting near her. She just knew all of it. We used to do spelling tests sometimes at school, and as I say, when she was 11, she got everything right. And then only a few months into school, sometimes she'd get them wrong, you know, one or two wrong. And when they'd hand out the sheet, they'd say, well done, 20 out of 20 goes to, you know, Julie. And Karen, well done, 19. Or it might be Julie and Pete and then Karen, she might have got 3 wrong, whatever, like that. And I said to her one time, it was summer, it was really, really hot, and we were sat on these hot concrete steps. And we had English, and then we had this break. And I said, how many did you get? And she said, 18 out of 20. And I said, oh, you didn't know the other 2 then? She said, yeah. I said, what? She said, I don't want to get it right. I said, why not? And she said, I feel awkward and embarrassed. You know, keep getting things right. And the teacher says, oh, well done, Karen. And, you know, I thought about that, and I thought, that is the nature of schooling then. I don't know if it's changed. It probably hasn't changed. But if you got things right, you were a swat, a snob, a teacher's pet, an arse licker, things like that. And Karen didn't want to be known as all them. So she used to purposely get a few marks off. And that's a real shame, isn't it? Such a shame. And I hope after all these years, she's probably married and got kids, I hope she says to her kids, do your best, be your best and show your best. Don't hide who you are. Don't hide it. And that's probably my message in this video really, is don't hide it. You know, why shy away? Why hide away? And just to finish the video, the whole point of me making this video really, I got a message. I did a long video, a premiere video, nearly an hour. Thank you for those who bothered to watch. In the video I mentioned about my book, and I got several messages after that, which was really nice. Thank you all. One of them, a particular young lady, said, bro, you know me, I'm skint now, I'm going to be skint when your book's done. Can I have it for nothing? Bless her. So I sent her a message, I said yes, absolutely. And she's a lovely, and I sort of know her as well. I know she's got a couple of kids, she never got any money. Pardon me. But I said, of course you can, you know. And she said, just interested, what is your goal with your videos and your book? And so I sent her a message, I said, what do you mean goal? You know, and she said, well, just what is your goal? She never amplified it, never sort of gave me much to work on. What is my goal? And I said, I honestly don't know. I said, I need to think about it probably, really. Why do I make videos and why have I written a book? Thinking about it, I think the way we live is our message to the world, isn't it? And it must be, because you're only remembered by the things you do, your actions and what have you. You know, when you die, nobody's going to say, oh, he smelt a patchouli, or he was educated to this level, or oh, they're not going to say that. You know, I tell you what, if I dropped down dead within a year, if somebody said, did Bri have any piercings? They say, oh, I don't know, let's watch one of his videos. I ain't got a clue. You know, because they won't, and that's the truth, you know. But you will be remembered on what you put out there. You do. So your actions, I think, count far more than your sort of personality and stuff like that. So I said to sent Karen another message, and I said, I think with my videos and also my book, I think you can gently shake the world. That's what I think. You know, and I hope that she understood that. You can gently shake the world. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just shaking the world, just gently, just putting my point of view out there. And if anybody follows it to any degree, if it helps in some way, wonderful. You know, if they get entertained by it, wonderful. If they just like to hear me dulcet tones, wonderful. The whole idea really of the book is to amplify what I'm saying in certain things. As I'm sat here talking to you now, I never have notes or anything like that, so I'm just telling you this now about, isn't it a shame really that when you're at school you've got to pretend that you're not as clever as you are because you don't want to be called swat or snob. If you feel that you're awake, if you've got a message for the world, if you're deeply aware of what's going on in life, you kind of hide that a little bit, you know, or you may be embarrassed because you've changed into that person. And you should evolve, you should grow, you should change, you should mature, of course you should. And therefore your thoughts and everything else should follow you along. So you should be a different person. But yeah, so in this video we're saying that that's an awkward thing sometimes, isn't it? You know, to be clever at school, or to be a different person than somebody met me 5 years ago. I may be a very different person. But the whole idea really of the book is, because I don't make notes now, I can amplify all of what I'm saying right now in this particular video. If I was to write this down, it would be much, much bigger, much deeper, and much, well, better well thought out, to be quite honest, you know, rather than me rambling saying, oh, ain't it hot? I must roll a fag. Whatever. Do you get it? So the book is just to amplify my own thoughts. That's all it is, really, you know. And I do hope, and I do think that people get a lot out of the book. On my other channel, on Purple Haze, I've put, there's 3 videos now where I've just read parts of the book, certain sections. And the reason why I've done that, again, Lisa and Marion was having a bit of a chat on the Thursday, on the premiere, and they were saying Bryce should read his book, you know. Well, I'm not going to read the whole book, it'll take too long, but I thought, yeah, nice idea. I'd already done one, so it wasn't their idea, it was mine, I tells you. So they can't take the fucking credit for it. So I'd already done one, and that's on Purple Haze. So now I've done 3 on Purple Haze. And somebody else said, yeah, great idea, you know. Anyway, it seems that I've done them on Purple Haze and hardly anybody's watched them, but whatever. You know, they're out there. If anybody falls upon them at some stage, then that's wonderful, isn't it? If not, then they're there. You know, so I have done them. I know I've done them. When will my book be available? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I will make a video saying my book is now available. That's what I'll do. At some stage, I will do that. Then if anybody's interested, it seems that about 30 to 40 people, 35-ish people are interested already. So that's really, really nice. Just gives me an idea how many books to get done. But I will make a video saying it's now done. When I make that video, people can then contact me and say, I'd like a copy, please, you know, if they still do. So yeah, so far it's about 30 odd people, 35 I think it is, 36 actually, because Jim said he'd like a copy, so 36. So at the moment I get 40 done, 45 done, something like that. But I mean, obviously, if more and more people say they'd like a copy, then I can get more done. So it'll be done when it's done. I'm not going to rush it. It's taken 2 years so far, and I'm certainly not going to rush it. After 2 years, I'm not going to suddenly finish it this week. It'd be nice if I did, but I don't think I can. It's got, so far, it's got, I think, either 33 or 34 sections. So kind of 33 to 34 subjects, although some of the subjects bleed into the next subject. But so it's quite a good book, and it's a dip into book that you could just read one particular part. Today, what I've been doing, because it's been wet, we haven't been out, we haven't been doing a lot really. But I've been fine-tuning, we call it, fine-tuning 3 sections of the book, which just involved reading them through, thinking it through, and rewording. One part I wanted to reword. I knew that. I always knew that it just didn't flow, wasn't correct, and it didn't bring the message. Didn't bring the message to the top. The message was there, but it could be lost. So I just needed to fine tune and think it through, and it flows now. When you read the book, it will flow. Hopefully, it will flow, and it will be flowing much better. Ice cream man's out somewhere. That's great, and imagine the kids in the rain getting ice cream. You should have come in the hot weather. And I'm very hungry, so I want a big dinner tonight, and I'm going to have chips. I don't know what I'm having with it, but I know I'm having chips. I do know that, which would be very nice. Yeah, I think we finished this video anyway, really. I'm not sure what the message totally is in this video, really, but I don't think it's to shy away and to hide away, is it? It's just to be yourself. You know, when you think of little Karen as a little girl hiding away, you know. And I do like what Coy, obviously, Das was saying about Russell Brand. You know, changed into a totally different person in many respects. I mean, he's still, I suppose, witty and funny and clever, and obviously that will never leave him. But I think he's far more in tune with lots of different things about life. Much the same as I am, you are, everybody is, you know. Russell puts it in a very succinct, educated way, which I love. So, yeah, you know, I am me, I have evolved, I have changed. I'm a different person than I was a few years back, and I'll probably be a different person this time next year, who knows. Thank you again, Chaz, for introducing me to these lovely books. I'm going to have a flick through them this evening. That's my plan this evening. Don't really plan on doing a great deal. So thank you for watching, everybody. And as I say, I will make a video when the book is done, because that's a question, a never-ending question now. You know, when the book is done, I will make a video and say, right, now it's done, who is interested? So I'll do that. Hopefully, maybe in August, maybe. Certainly by Christmas, I think, but I will try and get things done for August, but I'm not gonna knuckle myself down to anything really. Things take a while, don't they? And you know, if something's worth it, something's worth it. Time is irrelevant, really. Take care then. Thank you for listening. Be well. Cheers.